Man is the object of his fascination. He is dressed, fully painted, and he is dressed in a way that accentuates the sense of desire almost for the man. You know, it's a particularly high-cut jacket, accentuating the crotch. You've got this buttoned-up, tight, high-necked.
This is a kind of classic import Brooks Brothers shirt.
Buttoned down.
Yeah, with an absolutely stable mod accessory. You know, you could have them either continental style or US style. You know, this was when Ben Sherman was first importing shirts to the UK, and mods just bought them by the ton. And they had a very, very particular, Ben Sherman had a way of rolling the collar so that you got this particular high kind of fastening with the little narrow tie and the kind of very hipster jacket. But it looks like it's almost been worn as Sunday best, doesn't it? By a slightly awkward guy wearing one of maybe Chelsea boots.
Yeah. This is just a year later from that. The third love painting, which we were just talking about, and this is a painting called We Two Boys Together Clinging, a title that comes from a Walt Whitman poem, from Leaves of Grass. However, it's rather more, shall we say, deeply coded than that, what that actually might mean. Certainly the idea for the painting came in part from the Whitman poem. It also came from a newspaper cutting with a headline that reads something like, "Two boys cling to cliff." Cling to cliff. And at that time, one of the top of the pops in 1961, pre-Beatles era, was Cliff Richard. And Cliff Richard was somebody that David Hockney had a certain fascination for. However, that title, the headline, didn't actually refer to Cliff Richard at all. It referred to a bank holiday climbing accident that had happened. Left two boys clinging to a cliff. But it's just... however, thinking about the way in which Hockney used, in the third love painting, used graffiti as a form of, both a form of pictorial mark making, but also a way of encoding what seems an abstract painting and makes it into something else, gives it other messages. He carried that through to this. Quite obviously, we've got We Two Boys Together Clinging. We've got a bit more of Whitman here. Power in join, elbows stretched, fingers clutching, armed and fearless, eating, drinking, sleeping, loving. And then we've got here, curiously, 4-2, which again is a kind of code. 4, A, B, C, D, D, 2, A, B, D, B, Doll Boy, which is Cliff Richard. Living Doll being top of the hit parade at the time. And this is a portrait of 4-8, A, B, C, D, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, David Hockney. So it's self-portrait of Hockney. 16-3. Oh, it's a bit more difficult. It's actually PC, which is a fellow student at the Royal College at the time, Peter Crutch, who Hockney was friendly with. So it becomes suddenly both a very private painting, but also an incredibly public painting as well, or not incredibly public, a sort of semi-private, semi-public sort of painting. It's a code that's a code, but it's a code that, as I've just shown, is fairly easily cracked. Certainly amongst a circle of friends who would have known. It's also, the way the painting is constructed as a picture. And I think this is, Michael was just saying how we were talking earlier, and one of the determining aspects of Hockney's painting, stripping away what the painting seems to be about, in a sense of subject, and that visible subject. What the paintings are about is about making pictures. He is an artist whose prime concern is depiction, and how you depict things, and how you play with pictorial conventions, and how you maybe make pictures out of those pictorial conventions that might carry other sorts of meaning. But the baseline is that play with pictorial conventions.